Hi, everybody. I'm Jennifer Marshall, Executive Director and co-founder of This Is My Brave. Thanks so much for being here. We're here with another episode of Meet the Cast. And today we have with us Jack Gardea from our Houston 2020 Storytellers. Jack, I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. We also have Melissa Nolan, our Houston producer, with us. So Jack, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to come out for This Is My Brave.
Okay, I am actually from El Paso, Texas. I was born there and raised there till I was 7. Moved to Houston when I was 7, but went back and forth all the time with grandparents and stuff. I am recently now a vet tech for Gulf Coast Veterinary Specialist here in Houston. I do work overnight, so if I look a little haggard and tired, I'm sorry. But I just have always been one that was taught to push through things. And being from a Mexican family, we do not talk about things. We do not talk about mental illness. It's not something that exists, but it was something that I knew was going on with myself. From when I can remember, I would go into these deep depressions. I always had sports or something to push me through. As I got older, it definitely got harder for me. I did run into addiction because of my mental illness that I've been working with a psychiatrist and therapist about. And we did come to kind of that conclusion that I bring substances in my life to, definitely push away from any feelings. Do not like emotions. But so I struggled a lot. I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder, anxiety, and suicidal tendencies. And I was addicted to alcohol and oxycodone that was prescribed to me for a very long time. And I use that to kind of help me with it. I have recently been 1 year and 8 months sober from both. So,
Congrats.
as talking to my therapist, which everyone knows is Joanne, Joanne here, we were talking about this and we were talking through emotions, things like that. And somehow This Is My Brave came up. And with just my stories and everything that was being talked about, she was like, I think you'd be perfect for it. I think you would love to do it. I was also working actually at the time with Josh Britt, who everybody knows. He did do the show last year. And he was like, hey, you should do the show. I think you'd love it. And every day at work, he would push it and push it and push it and say, do it. And I was working with myself and saying, you know what, I think this is something that people should know about. It's something that's not talked about. Mental illness is something that has a huge stigma on it still. And I was very scared to say anything. I finally was just tired of it. I was like, I'm going to tell my story. And if they love it, they love it. If they don't, they don't. So I do write songs and I play guitar. And I wrote a song actually that is a love song to the world, to everybody from any religion background, racial heritage, mental illness, human right, how we feel, also sexuality. I just wanted it to be for everybody to be able to love themselves. And it just kind of went from there. And I went into the audition freaking out completely. Melissa knows. And I sang my song and they loved it from what they told me. And also it was my first time ever playing sober. So that was a huge accomplishment for me. I was taking it as no matter if anything happens and I don't make it, I at least did this for myself and it's out there. And it kind of just went from there. And then I fell in love with it. I've fallen in love with everybody that's on the cast, everyone that I've met on the chats on Facebook and on alumni and you guys. And it's just been amazing since then. COVID's messed things up, but it's okay. We're still doing this. And I just wanted to continue to be part of this family that has been created by you guys.
Aww. I love that you say that because I feel like This Is My Brave is my family and we're all family, and it feels so good to have that support and to know people are out there that care. It was very moving to me at auditions, hearing you talk about it being your first time to play sober, and you moved all of us. I know I cried when I heard you, but what was it like when you got that call saying, hey, you're in our show?
I was ecstatic because I was like, I'm very hard on myself. That's another thing that my mind loves to play on me, my mental health, is when I mess up, I'm very hard. And I remember in audition, like afterwards, I was like, I told my fiance, well, my girlfriend at the time, fiance now, which is awesome. I messed up. I was like, they said they like it, but there's no way. I don't think they do. It was just kind of like this hit. And when you guys called me, I was just like, what? No way. Excuse me? You do? Like, there was validation of the thing, of what I did. And I just like literally got off the phone and I like ran to Jess and was like, oh my God, I made the show. And she was like, I told you. I was like, yeah, I don't care if you said so. Like, it was just like it was the happiest thing one of the happiest things that's happened in my life.
Oh, Jack, I love hearing that. And I love hearing how you describe like the emotions of being there and the auditions, and how incredible that it's your first time, playing sober, that you get to be a part of this and that we get to have you as part of our cast. What did it feel like when, this has been a long journey, longer than most of our casts have when they do a This Is My Brave show, because, we postponed and now we transitioned to virtual. How did that feel for you when you got the call saying things are changing? We're not going to be on stage. How did that make you feel?
Well, my anxiety definitely kicked in because it was already dealing with what's going on. The world right now, we're very much in our own homes, in our own places. And at the time I wasn't working. So it was very much, it kind of hit another blow to how I was feeling about everything. But then we talked about how we were going to do the show and what was going to be different. And that just gave me hope. It gave me more hope that it's going to reach out. So even though then it was going to reach out a lot of people, this is definitely a different platform, and it's just going to reach out to the entire world. I mean, everything's on social media now. So even though at that time it was anxiety, a little bit of depression from it, because it was like, oh man, again, like something else. But then we all talked about it, and this new idea was coming out, and I was like, you know what? Let's bring it. Let's do this. This is going to be amazing. So after I had talked to myself in my head and was like, it's going to be okay, it definitely changed my mindset and was like, you know what? We're on it. We're going to do it, and we're going to show the world who we still are.
I love that. I think that's so amazing. I know that you have been like a bright light to us whenever we have rehearsals or get the cast together online. Have you found any comfort in, bonding with fellow cast, or, has it helped you at all during everything going on?
It definitely has. I've added a lot of them on Facebook. And then I did add, I recently added Jennifer. I was like, hey, but being able to see what people are going through with not only our Storyteller page, with the This Is My Brave alumni page, seeing everyone's stories, and just still being able to be connected, and knowing that if something's going on, I can talk to someone, and it's okay, because they know what's going through my head. It's definitely feels kind of like a big hug from far away. It's like a comforting blanket, knowing that I have that, and that no matter what, they're there for me. And of course, I mean, I'm going to be there for them. If one of them calls me middle of the night, if I'm at work, I'm going to lunch break, I'm going to call them back or text them and be like, hey, what's going on? Or if I'm at home and sleeping, because I know what that feels like. And so I want them to know that I'm here for them just as much as I know they're there for me.
It's so great that you guys have kind of made this little family. I see that year after year, the community shows become a little family. Then you get to be part of the larger Brave family. So that's so beautiful to hear that you guys are supporting each other through this. And Jack, I'd love to hear what you hope the audience takes away from your piece as you perform in the show in October.
I want them to take away, again, like I said, it's a love song. I want them to know that there are people out there just like them. For the longest time, I always thought it was me. I was by myself. No one would understand. And I don't want someone else to feel that way. I want them to know that no matter what they're going through, that there's always a light somewhere. It might be small at the time, but there's definitely, go forward, go towards it, do what you have to do. You can break through what's happening to you, no matter about what's going on, culturally and religious wise. I'm Mexican Catholic. And like I said, we don't talk about things, mental illness is not something you talk about. Sexuality is something we don't talk about. My family, luckily for me, my mom has been super supportive, especially with, I'm transitioning, as you guys know, and I told my family recently, and it was a little hard at first because they didn't understand, but then they've been very great about everything. And I know that's not everywhere. I know not everyone has that, and especially also with like mental illness or physical disability, it's not always there. And I hope to be even that just one person that they see and say, hey, it's okay. I can be me and I can be brave. Just like the show has shown me that, it's perfect. This is my brave is exactly how I feel.
Oh, that's so awesome, Jack. You are such a bright light. Like Melissa said, I love your energy. I love what you bring to this team, this Brave family. So thank you so, so much for being a part of it. Thank you for sharing today. And we can't wait to hear your song in the show.
Thank you guys. You guys have been amazing. Gonna try not to cry right now, but like I always tell everybody when we do our meetings, as RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
Amen.
I love it. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you guys so much.